In the heart of a bustling Nigerian village, where the air was always filled with the sounds of traders shouting their wares and children laughing as they chased one another, there stood a peculiar salon. This salon, small and painted in faded blue, was known far and wide. But it wasn't its size or color that drew attention. It was the rule of its owner, Agatha. Her salon had no mirrors, not a single one. Yet every woman who walked in came out looking like royalty. Agatha's skill in braiding hair was unmatched. She could weave patterns so intricate that they seemed impossible to create by human hands. Even the most impatient customers never left unsatisfied because Agatha worked faster than anyone else. People whispered about her abilities. How could one woman braid so perfectly, so quickly? Many wondered, but no one dared to ask. Agatha was not the kind of person you questioned. Her piercing eyes and firm voice silenced even the boldest. One afternoon, a young woman named Nkechi visited the salon for the first time. The air inside was warm and smelled of hair cream and incense. Nkechi noticed the walls were bare, with no mirrors in sight. "Agatha, why don't you have mirrors here?" Nkechi asked timidly as she settled into the chair. Agatha paused, her hands resting lightly on Nkechi's shoulders. "Vanity is a distraction, my dear," she said with a small smile. "You don't need a mirror to see beauty. Just trust me." Nkechi nodded, though her curiosity lingered. As Agatha began to braid, Nkechi felt a strange sensation. It was as though many hands were at work, not just Agatha's too. The braiding was so swift and precise that Nkechi felt as if her hair was being woven by a machine. But when she turned her head slightly to look, Agatha's sharp voice stopped her. "Face forward. If you move too much, the style won't be perfect." Nkechi obeyed, though unease pricked at her mind. She decided she would tell her friends about this strange experience. If you have watched till now, it's because you enjoy the story. Please be kind enough to like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to enjoy more interesting stories like this. Now back to the story. Agatha's talent had a secret. Years ago, as a young woman struggling to make ends meet, she had wandered deep into the forest to gather firewood. There, she stumbled upon a hidden shrine. The air around the shrine was heavy, and the trees seemed to whisper. A voice, soft but commanding, called out to her. "Who comes before us?" Trembling, Agatha knelt. "It is I, Agatha. I mean no harm. I am only looking for wood." From the shadows, a spirit named Ikenna appeared. His form was like smoke, shifting and shimmering. "Agatha, you are poor and desperate. I can give you a gift that will change your life," Ikenna said. Agatha's heart pounded. "What kind of gift?" "The gift of hands," Ikenna replied. "Invisible hands that will work with yours to create beauty beyond imagination. But you must promise me one thing. No one must ever see them." "But I have nothing to pay you with, Great One," Agatha replied, her voice filled with confusion. "Don't worry about that. The women that enter your salon will never see the shredded hairs that fall while we help you, for we will pick them and in return steal their destiny," Ikenna replied. Desperate to escape her poverty, Agatha agreed. From that day, her life transformed. The spirits worked alongside her, their hands moving so quickly that no human could match their speed. Her salon flourished, and soon she was the wealthiest woman in the village. But she kept the spirit's warning close to her heart. No mirrors were allowed in her salon, for mirrors would reveal their presence. The years passed, and Agatha's fame grew. Women traveled from faraway villages to have their hair braided by her. But the more popular she became, the more curious people grew. Whispers about her magic hands spread, and suspicion began to creep into the hearts of the villagers. One day, Nkechi's friend Amara decided to uncover the truth. Amara was known for her boldness and sharp wit. She had heard too many strange stories about Agatha's salon and was determined to find out what was really happening. She devised a plan. When Amara visited the salon, she carried a small, polished mirror hidden in her bag. She greeted Agatha with a warm smile and asked for an elaborate braided style. Agatha, unaware of Amara's intentions, began her work. Her hands moved swiftly, the sound of the braids tightening filling the room. As Agatha turned to fetch beads for the finishing touches, Amara quickly pulled out her mirror and angled it to see her reflection. What she saw made her blood run cold. Dozens of ghostly hands floated around her head, working with unnatural speed. Some were delicate and smooth, others gnarled and bony. They moved with precision, weaving her hair into intricate patterns. Amara's scream pierced the air. "What is this? What are those hands?" she shouted, leaping from the chair. The other women in the salon turned to her in confusion. Amara held up the mirror, showing them the ghostly hands at work. Gasps and cries erupted as the women scrambled to leave the salon, their fear spilling into the streets. The commotion drew the attention of the village chief and elders. They arrived at the salon, demanding an explanation. Cornered and outnumbered, Agatha had no choice but to confess. "Yes, I made a pact with spirits," she admitted, her voice trembling. "They helped me braid, but I meant no harm. I only wanted to provide for myself." The chief's expression was stern. "You deceived us, Agatha. You brought spirits into our midst without our knowledge. Such an act cannot go unpunished." The villagers held a meeting that evening under the old baobab tree. It was decided that Agatha would be banished. Her wealth was taken and distributed among the villagers. The shrine in the forest was destroyed, cutting off the spirit's connection to the village. The next morning, Agatha left the village, carrying only a small bag and her shame. As she walked away, the wind howled through the trees, carrying whispers only she could hear. "You betrayed us, Agatha," Ikenna's voice hissed. "You will pay for this." What became of Agatha remains a mystery. Some say she started anew in another village, hiding her past. Others believe the spirits claimed her, dragging her into their world. The salon was abandoned, left to crumble and be overtaken by weeds. But the story of Agatha and her mirrorless salon became a lesson for generations. It was a warning about the dangers of greed and the price of secrets. And to this day, when the wind whispers through the trees, some say it carries the faint hum of ghostly hands, braiding unseen threads.